Dear students, in today's video, we are going to learn about the types of drama. Some of the important types of drama I have mentioned here with its IMP facts. And this video is going to be very important for UGC NET English Literature, as this is a part of Unit-1 drama series of UGC NET English Literature syllabus. So keep watching such videos on my channel. Let's begin today's video first. So first of all, tragedy is there. Tragedy is having darker themes and serious subjects as death, disaster, suffering, murders without happy ending. So you can understand by this particular uh, words that darker themes is there, darker theme, and serious subjects like death, disaster is happening there, then suffering by the protagonist, and the murders done by the villains of the drama. Okay, so without happy ending, such plays are going on, and it has dignified style of portraying terrible events. So style is always been dignifying. Okay, a great style narrated by the playwright, and the terrible events are narrated in this style. And examples are so many, but I have covered here only few examples for you, that you know: Antony and Cleopatra, Coriolanus, Hamlet, Julius Caesar, King Lear, Macbeth, Othello, Romeo and Juliet. So these examples are of Shakespeare's plays examples, because Shakespeare popularized this genre a lot. That's why I added his examples, and so many examples you will find in the different books regarding tragedy. uh, Here in this video we will learn something more about different specific dramas. For example, here second one is there, tragic comedy, a blend of, or we can say a mixing of, tragic and comic elements. So first one, tragic situations happen with humor, and serious situations are led to happy ending. So what happens in such plays is that tragic situations are there, but these situations are happening with humor only. So humorous situations are created by the playwright, and always it ends with happy ending. No tragic end is there, as it is a blend of tragic comedy. So happy ending is there, and Roman playwright Plautus used this type of genre of writing comedy for the first time in his plays. So Plautus used it first, and here we have examples. First of all is Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare, then Endgame by Samuel Beckett, the Dumb Waiter by Harold Pinter, then Uncle Vanya and the Cherry Orchard, Anton Chekhov, then Ghosts and the Wild Duck, two plays by Henrik Ibsen. So these plays are the great examples of tragic comedy. Moving ahead, friends, there is a problem play. Problem play is a kind of controversial play. It has issues, controversial issues or social issues presented in a realistic way. That is its definition. Okay, then it aimed at exposing social evils, that is important, and making the audience think over it. So it is a kind of problem play which has social evils depicted in it, and by this narration by the playwright, he tried to makes the audience think over such issues. The Norwegian playwright Henrik Ibsen popularized this genre of writing drama. So Henrik Ibsen is a great name here in the genre of problem play. Sorry. Then F.S. Boas is a particular person, a critic, who considered Shakespeare's some plays as problem plays, and he considered Measure for Measure, then All's Well That Ends Well, then Troilus and Cressida. These plays he considered the problem plays of Shakespeare. So don't forget this one too. Then Henrik Ibsen's plays are A Doll's House, Ghosts, and Enemy of the People. So Doll's House is about the restrictions in women's lives. So it is about that. Then Ghosts, published in 1882. It is about the sexually transmitted diseases. Then the third one is The Enemy of the People, published in 1882. It is about the provincial uh, greed by the uh, protagonist. Okay, here it is a misspelling, so read it like greed. So these are the plays by Henry Gibson. Then next one is Senecan tragedy. Senecan tragedies were written by Seneca, a Roman statesman, philosopher, and playwright. So Senecan tragedy, the genre is associated with this particular person Seneca, and he was a statesman in Roman era and a philosopher, also a playwright. And Senecan tragedies are very popular, written in five acts. So five acts are there in each tragedy, and it is in Latin language only and based on Greek mythology. So three important facts are here: five acts and Latin language and Greek mythology. Then Senecan tragedy includes Hercules, Furens, Medea, Troades, Phaedra, then Agamemnon, Oedipus, Thyestes, Hercules, Octavia. So these are these Senecan tragedies, the examples of Senecan tragedies. Then in English, we find Gorboduc, the first English tragedy, published in 1561 by Thomas Sackville and Thomas Norton. So these two playwrights published this English tragedy as the first English tragedy, and it is the imitation of Senecan tragedy only. Okay, in the imitation of Senecan tragedy, they wrote this particular play, and it has bloodthirsty revenge theme. So this particular phrase is very important, friends. Bloodthirsty revenge theme, that is a part of Senecan tragedy. Such themes are used in Seneca. Then other examples include Thomas Kyd's The Spanish Tragedy, then Shakespeare's Titus Andronicus and Hamlet. So these three examples are also of Senecan tragedy: the Spanish tragedy by Kyd and Shakespeare's Titus Andronicus and Hamlet. Moving ahead, we have revenge play. What is revenge play? So in revenge play, the protagonist seeks revenge in such a drama. Then this term was introduced by A.H. Thorndike, that we have to remember. Who introduced this term? A.H. Thorndike, for the plays written in the Elizabethan age. So Thorndike introduced this term for the plays which were written in the age of Elizabeth, and its origin is Roman tragedy only. Then Thomas Kyd is the father of revenge tragedy, as he wrote the Spanish tragedy and published it 1587. So it is also a kind of Senecan tragedy as well as revenge play, we can say, as the Spanish tragedy by Thomas Kyd. Then after Kyd, Shakespeare made this genre of writing tragedy more perfect with his Hamlet. So Hamlet is once again a revenge play, a Senecan tragedy, and Shakespeare made this genre very popular by writing such plays. Other examples include John Marston's Antonio's Revenge, then George Chapman's Revenge of Bussy the Amboise, then Shakespeare's Titus Andronicus, then Henry Chattel's The Tragedy of Hoffman, Thomas Middleton's The Revenger's Tragedy. So these are the examples, friends, that we can include under this genre. Then heroic play, drama, or tragedy. We can say heroic drama, heroic tragedy. So these plays were written during Restoration age, that we have to remember. Restoration era, the age which was responsible for such plays. So John Dryden, the great name in the history of English literature, invented this genre with his play The Conquest of Granada. The Conquest of Granada, a play written by John Dryden in two parts. First part was published in 1670, then second part was in 1671. So uh, Dryden invented this genre by writing this play. However, his first heroic drama was The Indian Queen, jointly written with Robert Howard. So Individually, Dryden wrote The Conquest of Granada, but in collaboration, he wrote the first heroic drama, The Indian Queen, which was published in 1664, and it was written with Robert Howard by him. Then he defined heroic play as an imitation of a heroic poem. So don't forget this, friends. This is important fact that who defined the heroic play as the imitation of a heroic poem. So it was John Dryden who defined this particular genre. He was the major writer of such dramas also. And in such a play, the hero is the great warrior whose fate is associated with the fate of an empire. So that is the theme of this play. The hero is the great warrior depicted by the playwright, and his fate is associated always with the fate of an empire. And other examples which we can include here in this genre is Tyrannic Love by John Dryden himself, then Aurangzeb and Mboyana. These three plays are by John Dryden only. Then moving ahead, friends, next video will be on types of drama part 2. It will include some of the important types of comedy drama. Okay, comedy of humors, comedy of manners, so many genre we will include in this next part. So keep watching these videos, and thank you so much for today, friends.